Hello. Yes, yes. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing? Hello, where are you joining from? Hello, welcome. Hello, hello. Hello, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're connecting from. I am here in Texas. Hello, happy Thursday, one more day, and it's the end of the week. Whoa, whoa, it's already Thursday, and depending on the country where you're at, you might already be on the last day of the week, last work day. We keep showing up, okay? So if you're new here, I'm Dr. Lina from Texas, United States. I talk about money and lifestyle. Basically, money and lifestyle, because that is very important. I talk about lifestyle. I talk about, everything about your life, about your personality, about what makes you happy, what makes the life important, right? Everything about that is what we talk about here. An holistic being. Holistic being is what we talk about. Being a person, right? That is what I talk about here. How are you all doing? How are you all doing today? Welcome, welcome. And it's Thursday. Where are you connecting from? Where are you connecting from? If you are new here, I am Dr. Lina, and this is Money Talk with Dr. Lina. Right? We talk about family, we talk about faith, we talk about wellness without burnout, we talk about wealth to support your life, and we talk about purpose, right? That is what we talked about here. How are you, Kaisi Maswell? Welcome. Where are you connecting from? I'm in Texas. Nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Lina. And here we talk about normal pets. What's up? Welcome, aka Toby. Toby, welcome, and all welcome the old 30. Welcome here tonight. We'll talk about here. I'm Dr. Lina. I'm in Texas. You like my glasses? Yes. It's how do I put it? It's without it, I'm short-sighted. Hello, Tatiana, Tati. Welcome here. And if you have not subscribed, consider subscribing. Here we talk about money, we talk about lifestyle. Okay, we talk about lifestyle. I am Dr. Lina, and I'm here from Texas. Let me know where you're connecting from. Let me know where you are connecting from. And if you haven't connected, if you are not subscribed, consider subscribing. We talk about everything about life. We talk about faith leading. We talk about family readings. We talk about wellness without burnout. We talk about wealth that supports your life. And definitely purpose that feels calm, not rushed. That's what we talked about. Welcome, Lapra Del Madir. Welcome again. Good to have you here. Let me know where you're connecting from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I do have different people. You keep sending message and you keep retracting. That's okay. Let me know where you're connecting from. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. We talk about everything about life. Your person as a whole. Faith. We talk about faith. We talk about faith. We talk about your faith. We talk about family. We talk about wellness without burnout. We talk about wealth that supports your life. And of course, purpose that feels calm, not rushed. That's what we could talk about. But if you don't mind, let me know where you're connecting from. Awesome, awesome. So tonight, do you have any question for me? What questions do you have about lifestyle? What personally, I talk about investing. I talk about how you do your funds. And additionally, I talk about lifestyle. Personally, my goal, or I enjoy traveling. That's one of my goals. I have been to 22 countries so far, and my goal is to travel the world. So if you'd like to share, let me know the country where you're connecting from. Let me know the country where you are connecting from, because I might just be in your city. And consider subscribing if you haven't, and we all will enjoy this journey together. It's about the money to do the travel. Is about when you have the money, not impressing others, not oppressing others, but yourself, making yourself in the middle, making yourself, prioritizing yourself, making yourself important, treating yourself nicely, loving yourself, and everything that comes to that space. Your mental health, set a goal, set a plan, have a purpose, right? Make an impact. Set a goal for yourself, okay? Set a goal, make a plan, right? Have purpose. That's the goal, right? That is what this is all about. Cheesecake. No more part. You said cheesecake. Awesome. Let me know where you're connecting from, and if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. This is a safe place. If you have any questions about personal finance, lifestyle, if you want to know the countries that I've visited, let me know the country that you are. I am in Texas, United States. I'm a Nigerian American. Okay, so of course you probably would hear I'm a Nigerian American, and I'm a doctor of business and technology, a real doctor, right? A professor, and I've also been in corporate America for quite a number of years. And of course, I'm a serial investor. That's what I talk about finance, because of course you need the money or the finance to live that life, that quality life that you so desire. You want to give back to your community, you want to help others. It requires certain things, right? But in everything, make sure you love yourself. Make sure you treat yourself nicely. Make sure you manage your physical health, you manage your mental health. Make sure you do all of that as you are in that journey. You are doing all of that. You are ensuring that you are managing your physical health, your mental health. A lot of people are having so much of mental breakdown right now, and you want to ensure that you are maintaining your mental health. So when I talk about wealth, I am not just talking about money, right? I am not one of those personal finance people that talks about money only. I talk about everything. I talk about your peace wealth. I talk about your health wealth. I talk about your time wealth, and I talk about your money wealth. So how do you build that wealth, right? Not trying to impress others, but overall impressing, putting yourself, loving yourself, treating yourself nicely. Those are things that I talk about. And then when you now have the money, how do you use it? How do you use it to help yourself? So what gets me upset is that we pay into our social security and die before we collect it, right? Before we can collect it. The money just disappears. Your spouse may get a one-time payment of $255. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is what it is. That's the truth and the reality. I mean, those that even got to 55 right now, they are even lucky, because in years to come, you probably won't get anything, because they keep saying is like, remember, it's almost like robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's what it is. Robbing people, not robbing, like they're taking from the younger ones to pay the new ones. And that's why I talk about, you don't wait for anyone to take care of you. And I've been saying this. Nobody is going to be here. Talex, you made a very valid point. Nobody is here to take care of you. And that's why I keep saying that ain't funny. Yes, nobody's here to take care of you. Nobody is watching over you. Nobody is going to save you. So why are you trying to impress others? Why are you trying to get those expensive name of brands, or you are buying big houses, or you are buying big cars? Yes, they are nice things if that's what you so desire. You know what I heard today, and I will play that video. I want us to listen to that. People just try to do things. People go on vacation just because they want to impress others, just to do videos to show that, oh, you know what, I went on vacation. That's all they went to. Not because they enjoyed that vacation. So it is about how you take care of yourself. It's what is most important. Put yourself as number one, as priority, not trying to impress others. And like Telex said, Then that's why I keep saying your 401k, try to try as much as possible, as much as you are making money right now. That lunch that you're having every day and you have to go with your friends or your workmates, why not make the food, healthy food options at home? It is cheaper. Save that money and put your 401k. Have it there. Have your Roth IRA. Roth IRA. It grows tax free. So that by the time you are old age, you are not waiting for, you are definitely not waiting for government social security, because trust me, it might not be there. This is just plain reality. They take social security from us, our paycheck, every single month or every single paycheck. Ridiculous. But I can tell you, those that are even getting to 55, like you said right now, they are not. Hello from Philippines. Welcome, Malice, the Queen, right? Right now, those people will not even, how do I put it? Those people are even still lucky. Those that are getting to 55, trust me, you think with everything, with the debt and all of that is going on. Rudy Runke, thank you for joining from California, right? Those people right now, right? You think that with the debt that is happening, that we have in United States right now, or the debts, you think by that time, you think there would even be 255 for anybody for Social Security. That's why you need to have your own the basket of funds, or your nest, your egg nest for that time. Because one, the children, some people have their children as their retirement plan. If you are originally from, okay, 38.2 trillion is their debt. And of course, this is still 2026. What is going to be at 2036? And with everything going on right now in this economy, people being laid off, the wealthy, we are in a K economy. You know what a K economy is? You know what a K economy is? A K economy simply means that, just like this, the wealthy, they are getting, that's why the stock market is at the highest. And the poor, the average, the middle class is going down to the middle, is going downwards to the poor. Right? Now, the middle bracket, that's why everything is very expensive. Inflation is, all of these things are happening at the same time. So you can see the debt rate, our debt is, you said, is 38.2 trillion in our debt right now. What is it going to be in 10 years? What is it going to be in 20 years? And so what is it going to be in another 3 years after this administration? Have you ever thought of it? And then years to recover, and then So that's why you need to know that there's no government that is going to come save you, right? And I think Telex mentioned earlier, making lunch, if you break it down, it will cost the same. No, it doesn't. Actually, it doesn't. It depends on what you're eating. Because, for instance, if you are talking about, and I wouldn't want to counter what you said, but I can tell you, I'm originally from Nigeria, right? I'm a Nigerian American. If I get a tray of rice, right, of jollof rice, that old tray I just got, like trays, today is $75. And that $75, if I decide to eat that and put a piece of chicken on it, I don't eat processed meat though. Well, yeah, processed meat, I'm not judging whatever, but it could be from your lunch. I just use that as an example. But you always find every other means to save, put money in your 401k. When you do it with your 401k, if your employer is going to be matching it. Otherwise, put some more in your Roth IRA, because it grows tax-free. So it's taxed right now, and because you don't know what the tax is going to be in 10 years or in 20 years or in 30 years by the time you are retiring. You don't know. So what do? You put your Roth IRA, max out the 7,500. Jollof rice is banging though. Awesome, yeah. So it is. It's $75. That would take, that's like lunch for almost 2 weeks. But if you want to buy that single plate of jollof rice, it's like $25 one time, right? One time. So what am I trying to say? It could be like you are going to be doing some extra work, or when you get your bonus at work, you are not going to expend it. You are putting it in your Roth IRA. You are putting it in investing, investment vehicle. Basically, I invest in 3 places. because I tell you what I do. And why do I invest? I invest because I like good things. I like to travel, like I said. I like to enjoy life. I like good things, right? But it is not the 9 to 5, or it is not my life, or waiting for social security that is going to fund that life. So what do I do? Because I know that I need to do something. So what do? I invest in three things. One, first is my emergency fund. I put it in an IU savings account, So my emergency fund. Two, I put it in simple ETFs. Simple ETFs. I know that I was in TikTok live earlier today, and what we talked about was the S&P 500, the VOO, since for the past 16 years. 16 years ago, it was at $102. That was the price of VOO. Today is 624, 623. It means it has grown by 6 times. So simply put, if I put my money 16 years ago, right? If I put my money 16 years ago, it means that it would have grown by 6 times. 6 good times. That's what it means. So if I put 10,000, by now it should be 60, 70,000. I invest in mining companies, cryptogenic and cat care. Well, yeah, I mean, so far you have done your research on it, and it's returning. That's great. But that's where I put. And then because I put in safety net, because for me, safety first, right? So I put in that, and then I do real estate. Real estate keeps growing every single year. It's the only asset class. I mean, it goes down too, right? Up and down, but ultimately, since I'm here for the long haul, it would grow more, right? But I mean, it will grow by the time I'm ready, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years, right? I'm not even selling. I am just investing, renting it out, getting equity, renting out to get cash flow, and at the same time I am doing appreciation, enjoying appreciation, and then lastly I use it for tax deductions. I use it for tax benefit. That's the reason why I invest in that. But back to what you were saying, social security. If you are waiting for social security, or you are waiting for your kids to be your retirement plan, I'm telling you, some people are dying at the age of retirement because they have worked so many years, but they are not getting sufficient care, right? You also want to have some in your HSA, your health plan. You are putting some money there because at old age, your health, of course, we always pray to go old, but with old age comes some of the health, whatever. And that's why even when you are younger, make sure that you are taking care of your health. You are prioritizing your health. My friend, my friend Toby, he did promise that he was going on a walk today. So I'm waiting for him to confirm that he did go on that walk. That's part of the things that we do here. We talk about your health. We talk about your wealth. We talk about your peace. And then we definitely talk about freedom. We talk about your lifestyle, your freedom that comes with it. Yes, you did. Awesome. How many minutes? How many hours? How many minutes? How many hours? Good job. Good job. How many minutes? How many hours? Oh, you're like, Dr. Lina, hours? Hours? But telex, a very good way of thinking, right? Waiting on social security. When I'm even talking about retirement or old age, social security is not what I even calculate. It's like, it doesn't even exist. That for me, it's like, okay, I am just giving government money. That's the way I just look at it. Daily water checks. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I just did that. I did. Thank you. See, we have accountability partners. I have just done, I struggled, and if you're new here, I struggle with drinking water. Typically, I can drink this water for 2 days. If you allow me, I can go 4 days, 5 days without, if you allow me, I will not drink water. Even though I talk about health and I am trying to get better. So I always try to have water by my side. And of course, I have accountability partners. So you are in the right place, right? We're talking about holistic life, a life of faith, a life of family, a life of peace, a life of wealth, travel, mental health, anything, full of purpose. I did say that there's only one thing that I'm still waiting, I haven't done, which is maybe work with with World Bank or WHO or something, or UNESCO, USAID, all of those. Because you also want to have purpose. A lot of time it's almost like we are working, we are waking, we are sleeping, we are waking, taking care of family, working, and that's it. It's just a routine. You have a purpose, you have an impact, right? You have an impact, and part of you at time for you to fulfill that impact or to achieve or step into that purpose, money would help. Money would be part of it. For instance, if you want to, okay, you want to be a doctor, for instance, you need money to go to college, right? To go study. You want to have a doctor, you want to have a PhD. That's your goal. It requires money, right? You want to be able to give to faith, right? Help churches, or help your religion or something, or give back to others, younger ones, or to nations or whatever. Requires money. And that's why I say, we say that does money buy happiness? Yeah. Does money buy happiness? I would say the lack of money, what does it buy? Right? The lack of money, what does it buy? Right? I would just take that money, I will take it first. I will take, because the lack of money just buys you, poverty, pain, and you will just probably be stuck in one location, and being able to see one book, like Noble Pat said, you only will see one page of the book versus when you travel. But also a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Absolutely. That's why budgeting is very crucial. Budgeting is not, a lot of time people think that budgeting gives it brings about restriction. No, budgeting just helps you have structure, because guess what, if you don't give money direction, the money will give itself direction. And I always say that even with creating wealth, it starts with the mind. Everything, if you cannot imagine it, you cannot achieve it, right? If you cannot imagine it, you cannot achieve. And if you don't treat money nicely, if you do not treat money nicely, I tell you, it's also about attraction. If you waste money or you don't treat it nicely, that money, chances is that you might not get wealthy. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Because even just remember, and now I'm going into faith, and even in the Bible, God did say, Jesus did say, I gave this one, or the story of the servants. He gave this one talent. He gave another one, 5. He gave another one 10. And then every other person multiplied their own, except the one that with one talent, he buried it and he gave it. When the master came back, what did he do? He said, okay, you don't deserve it. I'm returning it back to, that is what money, if you don't treat it nicely, if you do not invest it, because that's just the story. If you do not invest it, it will not be nice to you, period. It would not be nice to you. Just like price is what you pay, value is what you get. Absolutely. That's it. If just like price is what you pay, value is what you get. It's about value, because the same thing, think about it. It's just the same. And I said, I think I'll start calling you wise one, right? Like wise one said, and that's your name on this life. The wise one said, the price, which is very deep, you pay the price. And let's use real estate, for instance. There's a property that it's just fluctuates. Like 2 months ago, like at the end of December, this property is worth 320,000. If you go online, you go on MLS, it's 300,000. And today is now like 285,000. What changed? Nothing changed. The building is still the same, the roof is still the same, everything's still the same, but it is just about the value placed on it. The value periodly, it doesn't still change it. It does not change. It's just even like your $1 today, right? You might think that, okay, your $1 or your $100 is not, your $100 January last year is not the same thing. Every day is just a loop, yeah. And that's the thing. We don't just want every day to be a loop. So just like you're saying, in terms of prices, in terms of, your $100 that your $100 last year is not your $100 this year. It has lost more value this year. That's the truth. So it's not the same thing, and every day is just it. I mean, it's a loop, but we want it to count, because it becomes a loop when it doesn't make any difference. You are just sleeping, you are going to school, or you are working, or and then it ends. The same thing, we sleep, we work again, we do the same thing. But the thing that makes it different is, okay, you are trying to make a change, you are trying to make an impact, you are trying to fulfill purpose, you're trying to do things that makes you happy, things that give you joy as an individual, the betterment of your life, something that can prolong your life. All of those actions, right? In terms of, okay, you're having financial peace, you are making sure that, those are the things that makes the difference. In terms of even your finances, those are things that makes the difference. So really, but like you said, it's just a loop. We sleep, we do the same thing, we wake up. That's why. But and that's why I talk about travel. Travel is one thing that can change the status quo, changing the loop. Like, because you can decide to say that even though it's still a loop, but the thing about it is that you are living with an experience different from a loop of just working 9 to 5 and just eating and going to bed, versus the experience of, oh my goodness, it was such a beauty experience when I was swimming with the when I was on the plane and I had this, those are like, it brings you. Or if you are able to bless a life, you are able to bless a life, you are able to touch life, and you see that, oh, this person's life is getting better, or those are things that um changes a little bit. Those experiences are the things that changes the whole thing that we talk about, loop, right? The loop of everyday journey, right? Those are the things that make the changes, right? Awesome, 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 awesome. And I've just been talking tonight. We just went straight into it. Straight into it. Awesome. I think we might just cut it short early today. Right? We might cut it early today and just do like 30 minutes, Um, any other thing that you guys would like to talk about? Any other thing that you guys would like to talk about? Um, question for me about lifestyle, about finance, about anything. You know, this is that song again. Oh, awesome. Yeah. So, are you talking about this life or personally? Like a time of reflection, or about this life, like looking at the look in this life, how we can make it better. I'm very open to feedback, by the way. Whatever we can do to do better here, I appreciate it. Just share as well. But if you're also talking about like generally in life, Mr. The wise one, when we are talking about this here, you know it's very important that you sit, and that's part of what I do on my birthdays, right? In general, right? But also, let's do this in the life as well. Any feedback, any input, any way we can do it better, let's also do the reflection on the loop of this life. But in general, like, actually, when people try to do parties or big parties for their birthday and celebration of life, the funny thing is that at times I just want to be alone, because that's the time when I am reflecting on my previous year. So it's almost like my own new year. I'm reflecting on the previous year, and I'm thinking, okay, this year, how can it be better? I always tell myself, I am I'm not in competition with anybody, right? I I am the greatest competition of myself. So I always want to be a better version of myself every single year. Where I was last year, I don't want to be there this year. As I'm growing in age, I always want to see what can I do better, right? This time last year, I wasn't even on the social media space. I wasn't even I cannot even post a picture. I don't even put a picture of myself on social media. That's how I was very away from social media. All that I do is just doom scroll, right? Doom scroll. I just look, and I don't even spend time there because I also like, okay, let me spend some time, either reading a book instead of being on social media. But you hardly would even find my picture there. And then all of a sudden, I'm on social media from July, and I just like that. So part of the things that, in general, it's just very important that we all reflect, right? Be a better, I think if we always see ourselves as our own competition, like you love yourself, having yourself as your own competitor, like a better version of yourself every single time, the chances of winning, they are really there, you know, because we are in two different journeys and we are not in the same race. Even triplets, twins that were born the same day, they are different. They have different journeys in life. So that's why there's no comparison, there's no impressing, there's no oppressing, right? It's just you, right? And then what I do is your health. What is that? Heart. That's health, right? you know okay, all these things. I don't know that emoji. What does that mean? Right. So basically, um let's just focus. Let's focus on ourselves, improve ourselves, think about it, sit with it, try to give yourself feedback. What did I do different last year? Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm sure, thank you. What do I do deep? How can I be a better version of myself? How can I be a better version of myself? Like, as of last year, I was working. I was corporate America. I was, when they say, when you talked about loop, I totally understand, because all I was doing is I was just getting by the day, sleeping, waking up, working, sleeping, waking up, taking care of family. Was like, that's what I was doing every single day. It's just like, I don't know when Friday is here. I'm just, when Monday starts, it's like, when is Friday? That's what I'm just saying, right? But the goal is for me to, like, okay, whenever I decide to see, if I decide to take some time off, I can take some time off. That was the goal, right? That was the goal. But I was just very mechanical. Very mechanical. I was like a robot. Sleep, wake up. Sleep, work, eat, wake up. The same thing. And just repeat the same. The only thing I know that I put in between was still making sure that I do my work. And the water check-in. Water. I think I might do well with one bottle today. So, yeah. Well, you should focus on consistent incremental growth rather than perfection. Awesome. Thank you. Consistent incremental growth. So more like posting more, showing up here more. I'm trying to, and I did say, I'm trying to look for the other apps that I can use to stream multiple, on different platform, or multiple platform at the same time. So I'm looking for the one that is pretty decent that I can use. They told me about StreamYard. They told me, I was looking at OBS and all of that, but I'm still doing research, because I am also working on efficiency, because today I've streamed on Instagram, right? Today was my first day streaming on Instagram, right? Going live on Instagram. But I've done on TikTok. I've done 2 hours on TikTok, talking on TikTok during lunch, and then I'm here again, right? You can use multiple phones to go live at the same time. Oh, okay, multiple phones. Okay. But then, how am I going to still be showing on the other platforms? Because definitely I can do that. How do I now connect with other platforms? Oh, I get you. So like, get you. So as I'm talking right now, I would still be talking to the TikTok community. I'll still be on TikTok. How come I never thought of that? The wise one. How come I never thought of that? Like, because right now as I'm talking, I can just. How come I? You see, we learn every day. You see why I said you're a wise one, right? Yeah, so because I can just take this other phone and just put it on the side on another tripod or something, and but then the only thing is that I might not just be looking at that screen, right? To them, I will not be looking straight, but I can always push it backwards so much that let me see, maybe I can even do that right now. Have give me 1 second. Let me see. Let's see how that works. You see, I think you, let's see how that works. Let's do, thank you. Yeah, actually, I never thought of that. Right, let me do this. Let's do this. I'll go on TikTok as well at the same simultaneously. Okay, I think I like that. All right. See, it's always important to, you see, I told you, I say that, I call you the wise one. See why I said you are the wise one? you know it's just so deep. It's just so deep. And oh, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. The only thing is I know that some people do have multi streams, right? They are talking on one phone, but they are connecting on other phones. See, so I can easily do. Let me see, and I'm doing that right now as we speak. See, let me say. Okay, let's see. Let's see how that works. And I don't want to have any of those filters. Hello. Let me see. Now it's where to place it. See, you have just succeeded in doing something tonight. Okay. All right. I think I like this. All right. I think I like this. Let's see. Let's say enhance effect. No, I don't want that. Enhance. Thank you. See, we're learning. We are all learning. I don't want this. Okay, so it does have that. And it does have, let's see. Okay, I think I like this. Awesome. I like this. I do like this. So I can definitely just talk on both platforms at the same time. Thank you. And let me turn this one on and just see how that works. So if maybe you'll be able to hear the sound effect, right? The sound effect, let's see. Hello, the TikTok community, and welcome. I also have my YouTube community here. Let me see the. Okay. Let's see. Hello. And because I typically just, okay, sound effect. Okay. Hello. Welcome. If you're new here, yes. Hello. Awesome. See, I'm going to download TikTok so I can. Awesome. Thank you, Toby. Yeah, it's all just coming on right now. It's still coming on. So yes, hello. Welcome here. Welcome again. I am back here, and I have my YouTube community online, and I'm just trying this where we can stream in multiple places at the same time. So it's so good. It's definitely so good to catch everyone tonight. Hello, how are you all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're connecting from. I do have the YouTube community on one end, and I do have the TikTok community. Welcome here. Welcome, welcome. How are you all doing? Happy Thursday. Is it Thursday in your country, or are you in the United States? Let me know where you are connecting from. I am here in Texas in the United States. So it's definitely still Thursday one more time. So normal parts, like you said, the wise one. I'm going to download. Awesome. Thank you so much. But this is very helpful. See, you have just been a blessing. You have just been a blessing. You know, I've just been thinking about this. I said there just has to be other ways, and you just have a solution. Hello, welcome here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're connecting from. Bukola Kings, welcome. Welcome. Thank you all for sharing the live, and thank you all for connecting here. We're talking about money, we're talking about lifestyle, you're talking about investing, personal finance, your lifestyle. So when I talk about wealth, I talk about money wealth, I talk about time wealth, I talk about peace wealth, and definitely talk about your health wealth. So eating right, exercising, emergency fund, your trust, and of course, having financial freedom, having time wealth, the making sure that you are living life at your own terms, and of course we talk about money wealth. Of course, money talk with Dr. Lina. If you're new here, I am Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology, and definitely I help people, I help professionals end the paycheck to paycheck cycle while they still maintain good life, right? Maintain good life. It's very, very important, because when you make the money, it's to what end? To what end? Thank you all for sharing the live. I know this is not my normal time, so let's share with others and welcome them here. Let's share with others. Let's share and welcome here. Welcome, welcome here. How are you all doing tonight? How are you all doing tonight? I have the YouTube community as well on the other end. So I'm just trying this tonight. How are you all doing? How are you all doing? Let me know where you are connecting from. Where are you connecting from? Yeah, I am in Texas, United States. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Great, 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 great. Earlier today, we did talk about real estate investing, right? We talked about that earlier today. And if your goal, I talk about basically when it comes to the money wealth, I talk about 4 different things, right? 4 basic investing that I do. I do talk about, your smart investing, so generational wealth. Basically, I talk about that. So if you're new here, let me know where you're connecting from. I am in Texas, United States, and let's share the life. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this community. And in this community, it's all about wealth creation, and of course using the wealth to build yourself for yourself and making yourself better. I talk about both the time wealth, health wealth, peace wealth, and of course the money wealth. So if you have any questions at all about your personal finance, you have any question about financing, or you are about investing, and of course if you have any questions about real estate investing, any form of investing, ETFs, any form of it, let me know. Put in the comment section. Are you trying to manage debt as well? You want to have an understanding of credit system. Any question you might have, I am here. Earlier I typically am here between 12 and 12:30 Central Time, but tonight I'm just trying something. I'm here with the YouTube community, and I just said, okay, let me just check in with the TikTok community as well. How are you all doing? Let me know where you're connecting from. Welcome, welcome, welcome here. Lovely, positively welcome, Stevie Monguna. Welcome. Awesome, 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 awesome. How are you all doing? And the YouTube community, normal parts, welcome. How are you doing? Thank you for making this happen tonight, because you were the one that just like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Welcome, welcome. Let me know the city, the country, where you're connecting from. The other day, I had somebody connect from Iraq. I had somebody connect from India. I had somebody connect all over the world. See, that's what makes us a global community. That's the diversity is what brings about the beauty. The differences is what makes the beauty. And that's one of the things that I love doing is when I make my money, it is not to impress others. It is not to oppress others. It is basically to ensure that I make an impact, and of course I travel. One of my goals is to travel the world. I've been to 22 countries so far. Yes, I've been to 22 countries, including Monaco, including Bora Bora, Japan, and all of those countries. And I am here to just cupcake, welcome, welcome, welcome here. And I basically talk about this. It's not to brag or anything, but it's just to tell you that when you make that money, it's you invest the money, and this is you ending the paycheck to paycheck cycle. So you'll be like, okay, when you make this money, okay, are you saying that we should not invest? No, that's not what I'm saying. When you make the money, your paycheck, you invest it. You have some of this in an emergency fund, you put some others into investing like ETFs into real estate. I'm a serial investor, by the way. I invest in real estate. I invest in smart ETFs. I mean, smart investing, such as ETFs, and I encourage people to do that. You have your 401k maxed out, have your Roth IRA maxed out. Try to do that if you are in the United States. But if you're not in your own country, what is the retirement option? Earlier with the YouTube family, we were just talking about that there won't be Social Security in America in some years to come. And they are even saying that right now, some people are only getting $255. $255, if somebody's spouse passes on, they only get $255, and that's it. And I said, yeah, it's even still better right now, because by the time in another 5 years with 32 is it trillion in debt, or how much we have in debt, we might not have anything left for anybody. So if you are waiting that, oh, you know what, there's Social Security to be your retirement, sorry. You have to create your own retirement funds yourself right now. Either through your Roth IRA. I always talk about combination, right? I always talk about combination. Friami Ablendo, welcome. Thank you so much for the likes. I always talk about the combination, right? I talk about a combination because I always talk about diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, all right? Do not put your eggs in one basket. Invest some have your 401k, right? Do not let your children be your retirement plan. If you are thinking that your children will be your retirement plan, sorry, it might not happen, right? Don't think the generation behind is going to be like the current generation. So if you are waiting that your retirement is going to be your children, do not, even if they give you, let it be a supplement, right? An additional, right? And if you're waiting on Social Security, it might not be there as well. So what do? Have your 401k. If your employer is matching it to a certain percentage, 1%, 2%, 3%, that is free money. On top of that, thank you so much for all the likes, and thank you for sharing. And this screen looks dead. It doesn't look clear, so I'm going to just clean it. Sorry, so you might just see some interruption, right? For a little bit. Uh, I don't know. Okay, great. Thank you all for the likes, right? I just try to clean up so that I can get a little bit better, right? And I also have my YouTube community here. And by the way, they were the one that encouraged that let's go on live on TikTok as well. So they are on the other side. So make sure you have your Roth IRA. Make sure that you're having your 401k to the max to what your employer. Hey, No More Parts, welcome here. That is my TikTok community. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for all the likes, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the community. And you were the reason why we are here tonight, because typically I'm here in the afternoon. And that's why maybe with a lot of people, we just need to tell, if you can just share And how do you share? You just press the button like right here, right? Right here. Okay? In the top of my forehead on the screen, and you will see people. Yay! You would see the people within your network, and you can always share it with them so that they can learn this. And today it's all about introduction. Where are you connecting from? Normal Part is part of my YouTube community. He was the one that said, let's go on TikTok tonight on two different, doing it simultaneously. That's what I am doing here. And if you're on TikTok, you can also check us out. Check this community out on YouTube. It's Money Talk with Dr. Lina. Everywhere on Instagram as well is the same thing. Welcome, Shao. Welcome. Right, welcome. And basically, this is what I just talked about. Have your 401k, max it out to what your employer is able to match, right? On top of that, also have your Roth IRA. Then on top of that, once you have done all those, have a bit on your brokerage account as well. Thank you all for the likes, and thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for sharing, okay? And then once you have that, you can be able to say that, okay, you know what? Your older self, you are able to take care of yourself when that time comes. When that time comes, you are able to take care of yourself. And then additionally, you need to ensure that you are also investing. I call real estate is the only investment class that pays you in 4 different ways. You have the, what's it called? You do have the appreciation. You have we have appreciation. You are paid via cash flow. You are paid via equity, and of course, you are getting some tax deduction, especially if you're a professional. So when I say professional, well, I talk about if you're any income, you want to end the paycheck to paycheck cycle. Just end it. End the paycheck to paycheck cycle. If you cannot pay your rent or your bill the next month, it means that you are simply broke. Simple, right? But at the same time, what am I additionally always ensure wish upon a life? I'm not sure what that is. Wish upon a life. What does that even mean? There's some things that let's see. Well, let's sign up for it. Okay. It said join any of those. And that's one thing about TikTok is interesting. You just see all of this thing pop up and all of that. So chat out to TikTok, and chat out to YouTube as well, my YouTube community. So I think so basically that's it, right? You all need to make sure. It says start a flash goal. What is that? I don't know. But whatever that is, whatever that is coming on the street, I am just clicking on that. So thank you all for sharing the live, and thank you all for the tap. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Lina. I talk about investing. I do talk about, and my friend Normal Pet, thank you for all of the support. You're supporting on every end. You are supporting on every single end, and you're making this happen tonight. At least now I know that I can do it on Instagram, on YouTube, and at the same time on Instagram at the same time. So this is really great. This is really great. Awesome. How are you all doing tonight? Welcome. Victor, Majek, welcome. How are you all doing today? And tonight, I'm just checking in. Let me know any questions you may have. Any questions at all that you may have. Regarding personal, and maybe I bring my board, right? Let's bring the board. The board of beauty. The board of beauty. Let's have this, right? How are you all doing today? And welcome to tonight's live. I'm just trying to check it in tonight. I hope you can see. Thank you all for the likes. Welcome here. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Lina, and we're trying things out tonight where we're streaming on 2 platforms at the same time, and we are basically talking about we're basically talking about wealth. Oh, hello, Stephanie. How are you? You're back here again. Welcome. Welcome. I'm both on YouTube and on Instagram at on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. Courtesy of one of our community members. And yes, yes. How are you, Stephanie? Welcome. How's the baby? I is the baby Stephanie from Minneapolis. At least I know that now. Right. Welcome here. Welcome, welcome. I'm okay. Awesome. Welcome. And tonight, earlier we're talking about real estate, but I was just like, let's pop in. We were on YouTube and I was just saying that, okay, how do we do it? How can we be on two platforms at the same time so that we can be more efficient since we're always rushing? And then it pops in. My friend Nomopat, aka the wise one, just said, why not just have two phones and just let's do it? And then we are here, and he's on both platforms right now. So that's amazing. The baby is doing well as well. How are you doing? I'm good. I am good. I'm good. I'm good. I was work today. I hope it wasn't too stressful. It wasn't too stressful. And this phone is not looking like the other one. One is the new iPhone, and the other one is Samsung. But anyways, basically, we basically talk about what we're talking about investing. We're basically, and tonight, why don't we just do that? Any questions that you have, any questions when it comes to investing, when it comes to either on real estate, either on real estate, investing, ETFs, any form of investing that you're thinking of, or it could also be on travels. Like I said, I have been to 22 countries. Yeah, any questions you may have, any question, let's just make it engaging tonight. It's just all about, yeah, any questions at all. Stephanie and Normopat and any other person that joined here. Lina, welcome. Any question at all when it comes to financing, your personal finance, right? Your personal finance, is it on credit as well? You want to improve your credit. Questions on real estate. It could also be on career and skills. How do you improve? How can you increase your income? We can talk about side hustle as well. Anything along that line, I am here to answer your question. Okay? I am just here to answer questions tonight because I think oftentimes it's just me teaching. What question? Please, can you talk about LLC? Okay. So now you're going to what we talked earlier. So LLC is basically when you buy real estate, and in terms of business, right? It's just better to just have your property, your business under an LLC. Like, do have a separate entity, LLC, or any form of welcome. What is one thing you wish you could tell your younger self? Okay, thank you for raising that question because that's a valid question. Basically, what does that do, right? You are going to be filing two taxes, right? You're going to be filing remember, it's a different entity. It's different from you. Okay, you're not filing. It's going to be different. So when you're filing your taxes, you are filing it individually. So remember, we said Baby Inc. What was it? Baby Inc. Right? Is the name of the company. So you are going to file a tax for Baby Inc. And then you're going to file a separate tax for Stephanie. Right? You're going to be filing two taxes. One is for the business and one is for you, right? Because two different entities. And of course, you have bank accounts. So you have a business bank account. It will have a different name. It's going to be Baby Inc. Like you have Stephanie bank accounts with Bank of America or Chase, or with, of course, we said we are not going to be using that because they give zero interest. But you know what I mean? You would have to put your money in, you're going to have your tax as well. You have to have your own tax as well. in that particular what do I mean? For tax for it as well. Does that make sense? So you have to have a separate tax. So before now, I used to file my taxes, years ago by myself. But at some point, I realized that no, I can't do that. Because like I said, I manage multiple digit portfolio, right? So that becomes really cumbersome. Yeah. But at the same time, you can just use one LLC for multiple properties, but that also poses a risk. It poses a risk in terms of business because it means that all the properties within that LLC can be at risk. They can touch any of that. But there's also some other things called series LLC. But you also want to be careful in doing all of that as well. Get a ask with your tax professional because it means that you probably with series LLC. I don't think you have to do multiple, but series LLC means that you're having single LLC for each property. Let's assume you have five that we always talk about. You have five. It means that you're having series LLC, right? Each one will have its own LLC. Okay, my charger. Give me 1 second. Also, let me connect this to a charger. Every property would have its own LLC, but they would now be under one parent one. Okay? Right? Yeah, it will be under one parent one. Right? But I'm always very careful because also the tax, whatever, it becomes cumbersome and complex. So because most of the time, some of the people talk about having multiple LLC because of litigation. Some other people had said, hello, Prophet Peter Adeoti, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, I typically am not here at night, but I was with the YouTube community and I just suddenly I was talking to one of my community members, one of the solid members, and he's here as well. I call him the wise from normal part, and he said, yes, we can stream on both platforms, and we are here doing it. We are both on YouTube and on TikTok at the same time, right? Isn't that amazing? Talk about efficiency. It means I can come twice now in the morning and in the afternoon lunchtime where we can have bedtime and do it together on both platforms now, and we can learn with a larger community. So if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, consider subscribing. It's Money Talk with Dr. Lina on Instagram too, the same thing. Yeah, wow, yes, absolutely. And it was just a suggestion from somebody from this community, no more part. And I tell you, quality people here, and the goal here is that within the next 10 years, right, by 10, we are all, if you take all of this action, we are going to be a millionaire. But it starts with the skill set, and we'll talk about that strategy because that's the goal. So someone needs to open an LLC before buying a property. No, you don't. You can buy it with your name, right? You can buy it with your name. And opening an LLC, like I mentioned earlier, it takes you maximum 1 hour. You can do it on your bed tonight. They will even give you options of names, right? You can do it on ink file. And on ink file, you would be able to open the LLC ink file. I think they changed name, but if you click ink, if you type ink file, INC, not ink, like INC file. If you just check it out, you'll be able to create it. But that is not a showstopper. You don't need an LLC to. As a matter of fact, we had multiple properties on our names. Yeah, ink file, yes. We had multiple property on the names before we even decide. And you can always buy it on your name and convert it later. You just go to the county and they would change it. You just say that you want to change the name. You can even do it online, right? So that's not a showstopper. The property that can be in LLC, what does that mean? Are you still, how does someone get a loan to buy property on LLC? So except that's a very dicey one. Most of the time, the banks, because remember, there's the property and there is also the bank loan. They're two different things. Your relationship or whatever you're building with the bank is different, right? It's you and the bank taking the loan, right? You as an individual, you are taking the loan. Now, on the property side, you can decide to use any name to say, You can say that, okay, it's Stephanie with the bank. You have good credit, you have all of that with the bank. You as Stephanie, you can go ahead and get that mortgage, right? But at the same time, with the what's it called? With your let me be careful with that. Because I've not really had that situation, right? You can, no, okay, now I get it. Now you buy it, right, with your name. Then you can go back and convert it at the county, right? Some people would say that no, you cannot convert it or whatever. They will call back the loan or whatever. Oftentimes they don't. I mean, 99%, nobody even cares. All those banks don't care. Well, you are buying under your name. But if you have a business, a lot of times the banks don't want to do mortgages with the, with like using the business name, except you have already established that business. Remember, the business in itself is an entity, is building its own credit. It's their own credit. The credit for LLC is not on Credit Karma, is not on all that. It's on something else. I'll check it and I'll let you know. So it's totally different, right? But if you're able to build the credit of that business, you can still go there and still get the mortgage. However, you can easily get credit cards using the business. So the business will have its own credit card. You will have your own credit card. As a matter of fact, people could get up to 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 on the credit card for the business, right? But when it comes to the house thing with property, is a little bit, most of the time they want to use your own credit, your own credibility. And the other reason why you don't even want to use the business, remember I talked about tax deduction, right? If on your tax deduction in the business, if you're already, hey Yona, welcome. If you're already making a loss, right, on your business, okay, how are you now going to go to the bank that you are making money on the business to be able to fund it? Does that make sense? Right? You can only enjoy one thing. You can easily say that, you know what, I want to enjoy the tax deduction because, my business is not, I'm not making money on my business. That's why I am going to, of course, your property tax and all of those. You're now going to be able to max it out. I mean, do the deduction on your W2, right? But in the other part is because you are not making so much money, so to speak, on your business. If you go to the bank, you probably will not get a mortgage. But if the business, if you go on your LLC and your LLC is really making money and is doing well, yes, you will get the loan, you get the mortgage, you will get the mortgage that you need with the bank, right? But I would recommend that, for me, I always tell you what I do. I try to use my own personal information to do it, right? I do it as Dr. Lina, not as the business. Does that make sense? But then definitely always, I even tell you, go get the credit card. Once you open the LLC, I know Chase would typically just approve it for you. Chase would approve you a credit card, but don't use it, just simply have it because it's almost like a credit line. It's almost like a credit. You could get up to 50,000 credit, like credit line because now it's business, right? It's business. So you can get as much, way more. Okay? And yeah, any other question? My YouTube, I'm downloading. Okay. Yeah. Any other question? But those are fantastic questions, Stephanie. Those are amazing questions. Any other question? And welcome here, Stephanie, Prophet Peter Adeoti, and Adorable. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Any question do you have? Any other question you have about personal finance? It could be on credit. It could be on, are you trying to repay your credit or you want to grow your credit, or on your personal finance, your anything at all, investing. So I often talk about four things I talk about here, and I'm going to read. It's a bit warm here. Okay. Sorry about that. And let me take off this sweater. It was cold earlier, but now my hair is looking not so crazy. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, N to the B. Welcome, welcome, my friend. How can I invest? Yes, that's a good question. N to the B. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining the live. Thank you all for tapping, and um thank you all for being here. So great question, and thank you for the daily at me N to the B. If you are new here, daily at me just reminds you that whenever I'm live, because I'm typically not here at this time of the night. I'm typically not here at this time of the night, and I was just trying something out. Was on YouTube, and one of our community members there, Noma Pat, said, "Okay, why not just let's go and run concurrently on TikTok at the same time?" And we're here. So that is it. So we'll be doing this more now. It's all about effectiveness, productivity, where we can stream in multiple places at the same time. So you're welcome, Stephanie. So how do I invest? Great. Okay, let's and I would try to turn the screen because I already have this on the board. And I think it's already flipped. Is it? No, it's not. Okay, let me do that, and we can go straight, flip the camera mirror. Right? No. Remove. Not sure what's going. Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get this done now. What's going on here? Okay, and I am trying to, not sure where. Okay. All right, I think you should be able to see my screen now, and I'll bring it closer. So how do I invest? Very, very solid question. Okay, so, and I'll not start from the beginning. Thank you so much all for joining. Yes, thank you, my friend N to the B. N to the B talks about, it talks about life in general. She does battle and all of those beautiful things. You need to consider checking her out, and if it's one of your vibes and all of that, I enjoy her a lot. Jordan Roblox, welcome on YouTube, and today we are streaming on both TikTok and YouTube at the same time. Courtesy one of our members that said, "Let's do it. Why not? If not?" And I have a question on TikTok where they had said that how do we invest? How do we invest, right? And I know Roblox, you wanted to play Roblox, but we're not playing Roblox tonight, okay? So, how do you invest, right? The first way you want to invest is, I talk about beginner investing, right? Very solid question. I'm not, well, I was also looking for a app that does that. Let me pin your question. Right? I was also looking for the app, right? And then Nomopad said, why not? Let's use two phones. You have two phones. So so we have two different phones right now doing it. I know there's an app. Somebody told me StreamYard can do it, but right now we are just using two different phones. That's what we're just doing. That's it. Right? Two different phones, and we're just talking at the same time. So if you can see my screen. So I'll call it for you to start investing. How do I invest? The first one that you will take care for tonight that you can do right on your bed in the next 5 minutes is this: beginner investing. Now, if you have put a comment one or zero in the comment if you have 1 or 0, and thank you for tapping the live. Thank you so much for all the ads and all the gifts, and thank you for sharing the live. So, who has heard about IU savings account? IU savings account. If you've heard about IU savings account, put 1. If you have not, put 0. Put 1, put 0 if you have not heard about it. So IU savings account, 1. Okay, fantastic. Yes, fantastic. So I do have. Okay, okay, great. So because we have one person that doesn't that doesn't know IU savings, this is what I call beginner investing that you can straight do on your bed right now. So if you have accounts with Bank of America or Chase, what is your interest rate? What interest are you getting on your saving? If you care to share, I can tell you on my own end, I typically get 0.01%, right? But I've severed my relationship as of last year with Bank of America because I, it wasn't making sense. And then they would charge you, you get three. No, okay, no, that's all you. Are you with Bank of America? So I'm talking about the traditional bank. Traditional bank. So you have moved to Capital One. Awesome. Good job, Stephanie. Prophet Peter Adeoti. Yeah, no, that's fine. Prophet Peter, if you care to share, or any other person, yes, any other person, if you care to share, what is your return? What interest are you getting if you are getting anything at all? So I can tell you, Bank of America will give you 0.01%. Chase will give you almost the same thing, and all of them, they don't get past 0.03%. Wells Fargo is even worse. So IU savings account is just like your regular bank, but the only thing is that one person is paying you 0.01%. Yeah, Capital One. So you are definitely, then you should have, then you should open an IU savings account. You are having you probably have a 360 checking account, right? 360 checking account is what you have. You want to open an IU savings account on Capital One. That account is there. Good thing is that you have Capital One. IU savings account, it will return, it gives 3.3% right now. IU savings account, that's what it is. 3.3% is what that returns. If you open so far, it gives about 4%, right? So that's what I called beginner investing. And what money do you put in there? I put my emergency fund. So 1 month of expenses, right? 1 month of expenses of my daily, my monthly bill. So utilities, rent, all of my utility, my rent is what goes in there. Utility, rent, groceries, and the car transportation. That is that money. I call it emergency fund. That's the only thing that goes in an IU savings account. So let's assume that your 1 month of expenses is $5,000. So you put $5,000. You just leave it there. That's the only money that you have in there, and that is beginner investing, right? You can do that right now, Mr. Adeoti, Prophet Adeoti. You can do that right away, right? As I'm talking, you have a bank, a Capital One. Open a. You don't even need to do anything further. Just open an IU savings account, and I think that if you put up to 20,000 right now, they will give you $250 or $300. That's free money, right? You can just do that. If you need to keep it for 3 months or something, if you open it right now. But that is the first thing. Now, the intermediate, which I call the next step, is ETFs, right? That's where I tell you what I do, right? I don't buy individual stocks. I buy ETFs. What are ETFs? ETFs are basically a bouquet of, and using this as an example, a bouquet of stocks. You'd have probably heard stock. Stock is you trying to own a little bit of a company. So you're buying a certain unit of this company. So for instance, I talk about Amazon because everybody talks. That's where a lot of people put their money. Amazon, we spend money a lot every single time on Amazon, which we need to stop, by the way, except for important needs. So let's assume that you love Amazon. You also love Walmart. You love Coca-Cola. You love multiple companies like that. You are now, instead of you buying individual stock or individual ownership of each of those stock, you can decide to buy this whole bouquet. This is Amazon. This is Meta. This is another thing, Walmart, other companies that are there. So at the end of the whole thing, you have so many companies inside think about one stock having so many stocks in it, right? And it is called ETFs. That's basically what it says. Why do I invest in this, or why do I use this strategy? Warren Buffett, when they asked him, Warren Buffett is the Lord of investing. That's what they call him, the God of investing, because he has made so much money. He's pretty old right now. When they told him, where do you put your money? He would say simple ETFs or simple index fund, right? The both difference between is um one is it's one you can trade during the day, one you need to settle by the end of the day before you can easily before you can dispose it. That's just the difference, right? It's almost the same thing. So basically, ETFs are just think about it that way. So the first one I talk about is, or I put my money, is the growth one, the growth, and it's called the top 500 companies. So think about all the top 500 companies in America, just inside this one stock. Just inside this one stock, the top 500 companies in America is inside this one stock, right? Then I put up my money, even if it's $50. I am doing this consistently. So the goal here is what? For you to have consistency, for you to drive discipline. I am new to investing. This is the place for you to start, right? I'm very new, like Mr. Prophet Adeoti did say that he's very new to investing. This is where you start. It helps you to drive consistency. You set it, you forget it, and and that's how it grows. So the growth, this one, why do I love this one? I love the growth one. I love it because it has returned between 8 to 12%. 8 to 12% is what it has returned in the past 10, 20, 30 years averagely. And when we were in the live earlier, Mr. Don was in the live and he did pull it up, and we can see that as of 16 years ago, the price of one of those ETFs. So if you're looking for the T code, right, for one of those goals, so there's the VOO, there's the SPY, there's the IVV, right? Because you are wondering, okay, so how do I buy it? This is how you buy. There's the VOO, there's the SPY, and there's the IVV. VOO is from Vanguard. SPY, it's another brokerage firm. It's almost like they're all the same thing, all the same S&P 500. They're still tracking. It's still the bouquet of the top 500 companies in America, but it's just that different brokerages now have their own funds to manage it, and they have returned any of it has returned averagely nicely. The only difference is that maybe one is they have a fee because they manage it. They have a fee which is about 0.02% or 0. Did you have okay, we'll get to it. So that's it. So VOO has returned since for the past 16 years. In 16 years ago, VOO, just to give you an idea, VOO was $102, right? 16 years ago. Today, when we checked it, it was 634. It means that it has grown. It has times 6 itself, more than times 6 of itself in 16 years. That is data, right? Which is absolutely amazing. It has done really well. It has done really, really well. Okay, so and your question, did you have recommendation on where I can buy? Yes. So we'll get to where you can buy it. There are 3. If you are, where are you located? Are you in the US? Or if you're in the US, it's basically you can buy it on Vanguard, Schwab, or you can simply buy it on Robinhood. You are in Texas. Awesome. I'm in Texas as well. That's great. That's great. So you can easily buy it on Vanguard. Just go on your phone right now. Search it. Vanguard, Fidelity, and Schwab's. Those are 3, right? I personally like Fidelity. Fidelity is more interactive. Is more modern and all of that. So any of those 3. Where are you in Texas? I'm in the suburb of Houston. So I'm not in the but in that neighborhood. That's in the suburb, right? Yeah. So basically, and where are you? If you also care to share Sylvie and Prophet Peter. Okay. So so I think you already have the answer. VOO, you're in Dallas. Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great. Awesome. I have a lot of Texan here. That is great. Awesome. That's great. So you see that's the reason why I always say that let's connect and see where we are connecting from. We have Minneapolis, we have New Yorkers and New Jersey, all of that in here as well. And we did have somebody from Iraq. So buy it from Get Fidelity or Schwab's, or if you're just trying to, you are very new and you don't even know at all, you can just download Robinhood on your phone as well and just use little money. $5, $10, you can buy any unit. What is most important is the consistency. Thank you for the roses and N to the B, always supporting. Thank you so much. So Fidelity or any of those, does that answer your question, Prophet? Yeah, the Prophet Peter. Does that answer your question? Okay. Oh, killing, awesome. Does that answer your question? Fidelity, Schwab's, or Vanguard, or Robin, any of those works for you. But the three, just like Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo, those are the top three. Schwab's, yeah, okay, thank you so much. Okay, so, but when you're buying, right, you have the S&P 500. Any of these three does well when it comes to growth. It has returned 8 to 12%. As a matter of fact, last year it returned 18%. It did 18%. The other thing that I put my money, because also I always talk about diversification. You don't want to put your egg in one basket. Just the same way we have 500 companies in one basket doing the ETF. Then at the same time, we also have, I also say, okay, divest and put some in tech, because we know that tech is the future, right? Tech is the future. We talk about AI and all of that. So if you are, this is NASDAQ 100, the top 100 technology companies in America is here, right? That is what you have here. And basically all of those NVIDIAs and all of that, you will have it in that basket. And this, of course, the risk is higher, the return is higher. So it has, I would even say, it has a whole lot of fluctuation. So it swings, unlike this is more steady. This is even much more steady. This is, growth, right? Versus the one that is, something happens to the economy, the chip, something happen, it swings. But of course, the return is way higher. It generates averagely between 18 to 22%, right? But when it goes down, swallow it, delete your app if you have to. If you cannot even swallow it, delete your app. And when the market is back again, then turn on your app again, download it again. But make sure you are not selling. Make sure you are not selling. Okay? Make sure you are not selling. Your classes? Do you classes out of TikTok? I'm not sure. Do you Can you repeat, Silver? I'm not sure. Can you repeat the question? You said, do you classes out? I think you're missing something there. Can you just ask again? Do you classes out of TikTok? I'm not sure. Do you hold classes out of TikTok? Yeah, I mean, right now I'm on YouTube, and at the same time I'm on Instagram, right? Oh, outside of TikTok, yes, I do have a one-on-one coaching, like a one-on-one coaching class. Yes, I do. And you can book it on Stan Store. Either you see it on my bio right there. I'm using the two phones right now. I would have shown you. You'll see it in my bio on Stan Store. You can book a one-on-one, or you can also book it on Instagram as well. You see it one-on-one class. And in that 1 hour, it's a 1 hour class where I'm teaching that, and basically we can look at your portfolio, your specifics. So let's assume this is my income. We can talk about what is your breakdown. Does that make sense? Like, what's your breakdown? How much is your income? How much you go to this? Every other person has different. This is just generic, right? This is just generic. Everybody has their own structure, age, and all of that, and we can definitely work it together. Agree. By the way, I will give you the best of what I know and the best of what I do, but of course I'm not your investment advisor. I will give you everything that I know. I'm a doctor of business and technology and a serial investor. So all that I'm saying, it's not what I just learned in the book. It's something that I've done and I use for my own personal portfolio. Okay. So there's the key, but definitely you can get it done on what's it called, on Stan Store. You see the link in the bio there, or on Instagram. It's also Money Talk with Dr. Lina. You'll find it there, and on YouTube as well. It's the same thing. You'll find it there, right? So just go ahead and book one if that's what you would like to. MC1, thank you for following. So SCHD, so we talked about that. These has returned more, right? And of course you can also buy it on Fidelity Schwab's or what's it called? Fidelity Schwab's or Vanguard, right? Any of those apps you can buy it. And of course, if you are in Canada, there's Wealth Simple, right? Wealth Simple is in Canada. If you're in the UK, there is the trading. Is it trading 212 is there? I'm a Nigerian American, so in Nigeria you can use Stanbic IBTC, you can use ARM, you can use Investment One, and you should be able to buy it there. I believe so, right? So and then there is the ACHD, because we always talk about a little bit of cash flow. This will return cash flow. So the fact that you own the company, thank you for the daily at me. Thank you. Really happy. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much for that. And see, this thing ran away. See, I'm not okay. I'll figure it out. You see the clapping and all of that. It was there earlier, but it's no longer there. Okay, so the SCHG, it's basically for dividends, right? So you are going to, the fact that you own this company as it's growing, right? But you can also be getting dividends. So there are companies like a Procter and Gamble, a Johnson and Johnson. These top companies, they call them the dividend kings. They have paid dividends consistently for 100 years, right? Because they might not grow so fast, they might just be going steadily. I remember when because I worked in Procter and Gamble for 8 years, right? And then I did for those time, Procter and Gamble stock were like maybe $60 or $70, right? But now it's at over last that I checked, over almost 200 or $160. That's what it is. So it's like that, right? This is like how many years ago? Maybe like 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, right? But it stays like that. It doesn't like jump. But then I get dividends every single month, right? Every single month month, is it month or quarter? Depending, I get dividends, and that dividends is being reinvested, increasing my money, right? So the fact that you own this company, you own them, you are experiencing growth, and at the same time you are you are getting some cash flow, because these two, you have to sell them to get your money, right? This one, you will still be getting some cash flow. That's why some people will say, oh, you know what, I have my principal, but at the same time I'm still getting, I'm investing maybe $1 million, but I would have this $1 million forever. But the return on that $1 million is what I am going to be retiring on, and that's what I'll be spending. Okay? So those are the solid three that I would say call intermediate investing. And then the last one, which I don't do right now because I am heavily invested in the advanced investing, which is real estate, right? The mortar and brick, right? The real building of real estate. Rental, I am invested in that. But if you do not want to do rental, you can simply do REITs, right? The ETF for real estate, it's called REIT, right? And then you invest in that as well. Okay? So, in terms of the investment, the first one, beginner, have your IU savings account in your emergency fund account, generating 3 to 5%. So no single money is going to be left, by the way. No single money is going to be left. IU savings account, your emergency fund is there. Your intermediate funds, right? Funds that are, I call it medium, right? It's twofold. I call it two things. I call it, one is money that you're going to be using for in the next 6 months and 1 year, right? Maybe like vacation money, or you're just storing money there to buy your next rental property, right? What is okay, I'll get to that. Next property, that is what you are saving here, the money that you will cash out in another 1 year. That's what you put in. And additionally, the other basket to this, or bracket to this, is your retirement. I was just talking about people not getting social security. Somebody was saying that, people that had lost their spouses on YouTube, they were talking about it earlier, and they did say that they have situation where somebody lost the spouse, and all the government gave the person was $255, and it was like one time. I said, well, he's even lucky that he got $255, but because in years to come there might be nothing. So if you are waiting on, social security for your retirement, it might not. Sorry to tell you, with the 38 trillion in debt that we have right now, it might not be there. So just to bust our bubbles. So when you understand that, retirement option, your 401k is another thing that you need to exhaust. So if your hello, the house of tea, the 401k, if your employer is matching it, right, is matching it, you want to take it. They are matching 1%, they are matching 2%, 3%, anything that they match it up to, get that one, right? And let it, every other thing needs to wait. The other thing is that Roth IRA, if you qualify for it, every single year is $7,500 right now. Before it was $7,000, but now this year is $7,500. And then, of course, I think when your income is $150,000 and above, you might not qualify for it. But of course, there's also backdoor IRA within the policy, where you can still invest in it even though your income is above that bracket, right? Okay, so always do that as well, your Roth IRA. And of course, the last part that I talked about, the vacation money, or you are waiting for your next project that you are using within the next 6 months to 1 year, that is going to be in the brokerage account. Okay, so this is how I structure it, right? And then I come here to advance. So does Professor Adeoti, does that answer your question? Before I go into the advanced, right? The advanced one will now be real estate. And this one, we have been talking about it for the past 3-4 days. 3-4 days. That's what we've been, and that's what you caught us doing, wrapping up in the afternoon. So these two, because you're a beginner investor, let's start this. Let's start the IU savings account with Capital One. You are opening the account right now. And then we are also doing this one. You are opening the Fidelity or Vanguard or Schwab's. Just open, if you can open. Awesome! Look at you! The House of Tea from Indiana. See, we have fantastic people connecting here. See? And I do also have my TikTok, my YouTube community is live. We are streaming on both locations, courtesy of my friend. I call him the wise one. Nomopat is one of the community on YouTube. He's here as well, and he was the one like, okay, get 2 phones, let's stream, let's do it. You've been talking about it. Let's do it. And we are on 2 platforms at the same time. Isn't that amazing? So at least we can, this is almost like a YouTube time. That's why I'm never here at night. I'm with the YouTube community. But now we can do it in the afternoon. We can do at night. But it's every account open with SoFi automatically qualified for HSA. That I need to check, really. That I need to check, because I think it's where you open. But are you saying that you are trying to you are opening multiple accounts? Is it still under your name? Because, at times they will say, okay, new account owners. I'm using 2 phones right now, so I would have researched it. At times they will say new account owners only. Those are I open account name with software under my name. Okay. But you're saying that, is it every new, how many accounts did you open, or do you plan to open? But it's every account open with SoFi automatically qualified. Are you saying, yes, if you open an account in your name for it qualifies for it, 4%. But they might require you to have a direct deposit. I want to believe so. They'll tell you when you opened it, did they say that you need to do a direct deposit? Did they say you need to do a direct deposit? Because right now it gives about 4%. When I checked it, it still gives you 4%. I just want to know if I need to call them to move that account into IU savings account. Yeah, confirm that you open an IU savings account. Yeah, confirm that it's an IU. Yes, please call them. I will call them if I'm not clear on anything. I don't want to hear stories. Just call them that you want to open an IU savings account. Is that account, is it an IU savings account? And what is the requirement, right? What is the requirement? Like a Capital One there's 0 requirement for Capital One. All that you just, I think, what was it? The only thing with Capital One, you get the 3.3%. You get the 3.3%. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't even think Capital One has a requirement. Oh, hi. Super Kiddo. Super Kiddo. How are you? How are you? Are you going to bed now? Because you said you were 10 and I said we need to sleep early. Except you're trolling, right? I am asking because I want to move my little checking account into my regular bank to it, to bank to it. Yes, I would rather what I don't. There's no reason why you should even. The only reason why you should have your checking account. Maybe we should talk about it since we are talking about those accounts tonight. The four account system, okay? That you should have, right? Remember, you need to give your money structure, right? You need to give, and how do you give your money structure? The way you give your money structure, you have a checking account, but that checking account is just that's where your salary goes into, right? Salary, and it's I call it distribution center. So by the fourth, the fifth of the month, this account should be almost zero. Your salary only goes in here. Then you can open it with all those banks as well. And then you have your IU savings account. IU savings account is your emergency fund that we talked about, right? And then you can have multiple IU savings account, and then you have your expense account. It can also be an IU savings account, right? Basically, this has your expenses, your lifestyle, your utilities, or whatever. This also ties to your credit card and all of that, because whenever you pay your bills, you don't want to use your debit card or use your account. You want to use the credit card. You are building credit, and at the same time you are ensuring security, because if there's fraud on your account or your debit card, you might not be able to get that money back. You might get it might take a long time, it might disrupt everything for you. So you open this expense account, tie it to a credit card, and so that's the thing. You have the expense account, and of course, so this is your basic expense, and then of course you have your investment, the one that we talked earlier, as Prophet asked earlier. We have, for your 401k, right? Your Roth, your brokerage, and of course the money for your next rental for advanced investment thing is there as well. So basically these checking accounts, right, should be zero, almost zero. $1 is what you should leave there. Every other money should feed this, and this. Once you have done this, you are good. Your vacation money should also be here. Your vacation money, you can put it in you can also put it in an emergency fund, right? Your vacation money, because here we are going to be also maintaining our mental health. We are not going to be burning out, right? And it doesn't have to be expensive, right? You just need to take some time off, right? Oh, okay, Super Kiddo, good job going to bed. Good job. There's school tomorrow. So does that answer your question? I ask it because I want to move my little checking account. So yes, absolutely, you are doing the right thing. Move it to an IE savings account. Move it to an IE savings account. But can one use the HSA for a regular transaction as it is used as checking? What is regular transaction? What does that mean? What do you you can use it. It's just like your normal bank account. There's no difference. It's just like your whatever you can do with your savings account in Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, right? Whatever you can do with any of those savings accounts. So there's checking, there's savings. Whatever you can do with your savings account in any of those banks, you can do it in an IE savings account. There is no difference. The only difference is one is giving you 0.01%, right? And the other one is it's just the interest that is different. Like paying your mortgage or paying your car loan that is already automatically set up. I believe you can actually pay it from there. You can pay it from your savings accounts. If there is auto pay, yes, I know I have savings account, and my savings account, all of my expenses are paid from that account. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So it just gives that structure, and at the same time, you are generating something on your money, right? Basically. So Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So this is the four account system that I always talk about. If you are able to have, because a lot of time you'd have had some professional, or it might even happen to you, that you realize that, you know what, I'm making so much money, but I don't know where that money is going to. That's because you don't have the structure. You do not have the structure, because if you don't give your money direction, the money itself will give itself direction. Trust me, the money that you don't use, or the money that you don't give the direction, is the money that every other person will come and borrow from. Every other person will bring their needs from. They will come to it, but because you had already don't have plan for that money, that's what happens. You would already feed those needs first, and then you realize that, oh, I'm missing this bill, I've not paid this bill, I've not done this, I've not done that. That's what happens most of the time, right? And that's where we hear black tax. If you are originally, because of course, in Nigeria and America, you see, black tax and all of that. You probably would have heard that. It's okay, right? It's okay to give, but you have to give it within the comfort, within what you can, within the comfort. You need to make sure that you're taking care of this. And I always say this. It's somebody was reminding me this on Instagram, and the person did say that, where you don't, because making money comes from the mind, is mindset. That's what I tell people. If you tell me yourself that, you know what, I cannot do it, then you cannot. Because we are saying that you are making $1 million in 10 years. And yes, I did show how that is going to happen. But if you still tell yourself that you cannot do it and looking for impossibility, it will not happen. Right? And that's why I say that it's just like the story, there's this popular story of the servant, right? And the master. The master gave he gave this person 1 talent. He gave another person 5 talents. And he gives another person 10 talents, right? That story, I'm a Jesus baby, so I tell you this, right? He gave everybody different talents. And of course, one person, the one he gave 10 talents, that one, he doubled it, or he tripled it, if I remember, for those that are Bible scholars, right? Then the one that has 5, that one also doubled it. But then the other one that was given 1 took that money and buried it, right? That's the way. And what did they do? They took the one with the one, the master took that one and gave it to another. If you look at money that way, and you make money and you don't give it direction, that's what it happens. Thank you, thank you. That's just the story. That is really true. And this really works in life. If you don't treat money nicely, you cannot even attract money. The money would not. I'm not joking. That's why you have people that they work so hard. If working hard is what makes people money, it's what makes people wealthy. The people that work under the sun, like digging the ground and doing all of those things, then they should be the wealthiest. But that doesn't happen, right? You still see people that are even doing less work. They are the ones, they are making the money, right? Thank you all for the tap, 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 N to the B. Thank you all for all tapping. And for those that are new here or new to Instagram, tapping is just, it doesn't cost you anything. Just touch the screen. Continue, play it as a game. Just touch the screen continuously. It doesn't take anything. I do it every single time. And it just helps this life. It helps our algorithm. Is that what they call it? And I'm learning this as well. It helps it to push this life to more people. And that's the best, that's the least that you can give. And I really appreciate that if you can just keep tapping. Tapping is caring, right? And sharing is loving, because you love others and you want them to also enjoy what you are enjoying. And how do you share? You press my forehead on the screen, press it down, and then you share it. Your content will come up, then you can always share it, and some other people can learn. And if you really love this, so that whenever I'm going live, consider having a daily at me. The daily at me, you see it in the box down there somewhere. It's just a single at. It's like at me. It costs you 1 cent. That's the only thing that costs you 1 cent, and then you can click on that, and it's just $1. Or you can, and if you like this life more, you can do the go popular, so that these plays can also become popular and some other people can learn. Okay, and thank you so much for the hearts, for the roses. Really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. Awesome, awesome. So, any other question? Any other question? And did that all answer your question? Did that answer your question? Did that answer your question? And like I said, today it's all about answering your question. It's about me answering any question that you have, be it on credit, personal finance, investing. Um, it could also be peace wealth. And let me say this, I'm not one of those personal. What makes me different, right? What makes me different? I'm a doctor of business. I'm a doctor of business and technology. I'm a serial investor. So whatever I'm telling you is what I do, right? That is exactly what I do. And I will just share you my own portfolio. At some point, maybe when we get to that, this community, the goal is for us to become millionaires in 10 years. Change the trajectory, change what the society has told us that, okay, we have to work for 45 years and retire at 65. If your goal is to, even if you don't retire early, you just want to have financial freedom, you want to have financial peace, you want to live generational wealth, then you are in the right place. Not a get rich quick scheme. Consistency, discipline, structure, that's what we do here. Proving practical steps that works. That is what we do here. Then on top of that, whenever I talk about wealth or whenever I talk about money, my own goal of money is not to impress others. It is not to oppress others. It is for me, right? It is for me. It is for me to make impact. It's for me to enjoy myself, for me to be a better version of myself, live generational wealth so that I can be called blessed, right? I said a blessed man leave inheritance for his children and his children's children. Generational wealth, but not just generational wealth. Me, I will enjoy that life. I love good things. So when I work hard, I help professionals end the paycheck to paycheck cycle. So what does that mean? When you get your salary, you keep working, you get your salary this paycheck, but the next paycheck does not meet this paycheck because you have spent it not on investing, you are spending on something else, trying to impress others, trying to do things that no, that's not how we want to do it. So we are changing the storyline, and that's why you use this 4 account system. We use this 4 account system, and with this, we also invest in real estate. I've been talking about how to buy your first rental in 4 months. If that's your goal, if you cannot achieve 4 months, achieve 6 months. If you cannot do 6 months, achieve 1 year. That's what we're talking about here, because for us to achieve it, real estate is part of that journey, because that's what I know that has helped me, and I'm just giving the cheat code for free. Okay, but when you make the money, I said something. It is not to oppress others. It is not to impress others. It is for you. Okay, and how do I do it? What do I talk about? I talk about wealth in 4 different ways. Or what do I mean? Money wealth is one part of money. That's what we just talked about. Money is good. Money ends, it ends BS. Money, what do I say? Money gives you option, right? Money does give you option, give you the best, and like I said, I like good things. But on top of that, I talk about health wealth. Health is wealth. I know that there is my friend that is checking me right now is here on the live as well. He's telling me it's time for you to drink water. So we are making sure that we are taking care of ourselves. We are making sure we are taking care of our physical health. We are doing our checks. We are ensuring that we are eating right? Eating right. And, all those lunch, we are trying to do 2 things with that. All those eating out, we are trying to save the money and use it to invest, while we are eating right, using our money to invest instead of buying expensive food outside. Of course, eating out is good sometimes, but not every day. Right? So then we are exercising, we are taking walks. Somebody in my community, Toby, he said today, we said he was going to go on a walk for 1 hour. Then he did that, right? Those are the things that we talk about. And of course, we also talk about your peace wealth, financial peace. You want to retire. By the time you retire, what do you have? Safety net, or you are waiting on social security, or you are waiting on your children to be your retirement plan. Okay, those are things. Your emergency funds. You are ending paycheck to paycheck cycle. That's the other thing that we talk about. And of course, we talk about financial freedom, freedom to live life at your own term, which I call time wealth. Time is money. Time wealth. Go on vacation, relax your mind, maintain your mental health, feel good and look good. Take time. You don't have to, you have the backup such that if you decide to, some people cannot. Whenever they are going to work every morning, it's panic because they don't know if HR is going to call them that, okay, today is your last day. Those are affecting mental health, and those are things that we are trying to talk about and trying to change. Okay. So we have a question. Is there a credit score to cap for me to get a property? So I would typically let's target 730 credit score and above. Okay, it's not like if you have 630 it will not do it, but the only thing is that the interest rates that you are going to get as somebody with I think 730 is a good, right? Excellent is 800 and above, right? 730 and above, or anything above 730 is what we are targeting, and it is very achieve. You can definitely achieve it. 730 and above, because we want to have the best of the credit, or the best of the rates, because that 1%, that's 730 and 680 and 730 and 800 could almost, the interest rate could be as the difference might be 7, it might be 7, 6, 5 point, no, I don't think we even have 5.8. It could be 5.8, 6.5, 7.5. That could how much wide the interest rate is. So 730 and above is what we are targeting. Okay, but that's a good question. 730 and above. And how do you do this? Okay, you want to first of all start thinking of paying off your credit every single paycheck. Not paycheck. Use your credit card like a debit card. Okay, credit card like a debit card. So if you don't have that money in the account, you are not spending. Right? Thank you all for the tapping and for all of the likes. If you can get this to 20,000, that would be good. I mean, or 15,000, that would be good. So if you see that number up there, that number is it right here? Right. Okay, if you can tap it all the way to 15,000, 20,000, just keep tapping as I'm talking. That would be great, right? So, yeah. So just make sure that every paycheck you are paying off, you are paying it within the cycle. So you are not letting it go past the billing cycle. Every credit card has its due date. So before the due date, pay it off. Even the better off, I would even recommend that you do not. I would even say don't just pay it within that week, because of course the money is in your account. You are just using the credits, and then make your utilization, keep it below. They often say 10%, right? But if you can even keep it below 3%, the better. 3%, just use it for certain things. And if you have multiple, maybe you have two, use this one on this and use this one on this, and just keep it pretty minimal, but keep paying it off. You see that your credit will jump. And even if you maybe one time it goes up, make sure you pay it off immediately, and it's going to help you jump your credit as well. Of course, there are some other things that helps with the credit as well, like the years and all of that, your years of credit, all of those things, or the number of accounts that you have. Those are also factors that goes into the credit. But that's a solid question. That's a good question. Any other question? Any other question? But you guys have just been amazing tonight. You have been amazing with all those questions. You have been amazing. Any other question? Who likes this nightlife? the bedtime talk. I'm usually here on TikTok on during the lunchtime between 12 and 3, and I think we'll still keep that. And I'm on YouTube between 9 and between 8:30, between 8 and 10, or 10:30 at times, Central Time, by the way. So it's so good that now we can do it 2 times. So streaming at the same time, and then we can share ideas. People from YouTube can ask questions and learn, and on TikTok they can learn as well. And then maybe we also do Instagram as well at some point, and have 3 phones to get it done, and while I figure out the streaming software. But I really don't think I need the streaming software. Hey, Dr. Aaron, welcome, welcome, welcome. And Dr. Aaron is also part of this community. Welcome. And tonight, I think I have a target of trying to get multiple, donuts or something. I think it's donut. So if you want to give any gift, donuts would be great. I think it costs 1 cent. It costs 1 cent for that. No pressure. It's just helps to push this life from a D4 league to a D3. I'm still learning these things, by the way, on TikTok especially. I'm still trying to learn. So and of course I'm trying to get the popular life as well. Those are the goals, so that I can push this to a another, what do they call it? There's a D4, there's D3, there's ratings. It's interesting. It's interesting. So that I can get promoted to the next class. And then I think when you get promoted to the next class, then we have more people, they share it with more people, and then more people can learn. Like I said, my goal is to be able to help as much people and this most professionals end this paycheck to paycheck cycle. That's the goal. And the more people I can get to learn it through all these multiple platforms, the more it is, the much better it is. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank. Any other question? So Prophet Adeoti, thank you so much. Olori, the House of Tea, welcome, welcome. Thank you, Dr. Aaron, thank you so much, and adorable Maria Kiyok, gratitude mindset, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Any other question? I have a tap tap. I have a tap a lot. I hope you will join us for the prayer at 6 p.m. daily. Okay. Yeah, share it. Absolutely. Share it. Do share it, sir. Do share it. I will, as much as I can, I will be there. As much as I can. Prayer is never enough. Prayer is never enough, right? Prayer is that on TikTok as well? Is that on TikTok as well? Or is it on another platform? So, Dr. Aaron, like I said, I'm trying, but thank you so much for all the tap, tap, tap. So, tapping is just tapping the screen. It costs you anything, it costs you nothing. And for those that want to give, I think I'm trying to get donut. I'm looking at what are my goals. Maybe, let me see. I'm trying to see what are my goals to be able to move to the next level. Those are things that I'm also checking. God bless you. Yes, ma'am. TikTok, Zoom, and YouTube. Okay, we'll be there. We are also on YouTube as well. YouTube is live as well, and YouTube is basically Money Talk with Dr. Lina as well. So consider subscribing. I have long form. Every single Sunday I have long form YouTube videos that would help you. Like all these questions that you've been asking about, where do I start investing? All of that is definitely on YouTube. And and you can always replay. You can go back, replay it multiple times. It's almost like a video that you can always replay, and you can learn a lot. How you can buy your first rental property under 4 months, it's also there. I have the video there as well. So consider subscribing. Dr. Aaron, thank you so much for tapping. I just do okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prophet Adeote. I hope that I was able to help tonight. Great, great, great. So thank you all for tapping, and any other question for me? I am always here for those that are new. I'm always here. I do this live normally 12 to 3 Central Time. 12 to 3 or 12:30 to 3. You catch me within that window every single day. Except for weekends. I'm still trying. Weekends might be different, but maybe a little bit earlier, but I'll announce it on the page as well. And on YouTube, I am there from I think at 7:30, between 7:30 and 10, you catch me. So you want to subscribe and you want to grab your daily at me as well on TikTok, because that would just help you know, you will be notified whenever I am live, because that confirms that you're a part of this community, you love it here, and it costs you just 1 coin. 1 coin is 1 penny. 1 cent, basically. That's what it costs you to do that. Yeah. Yes, you did. Good, good. Yeah, absolutely. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I was able to share the knowledge tonight, and I was able to impact and add value. Feel free to join anytime, sir. Feel free to join a game. Always, I mean, because we are